She was a poor effort of a centre console rebuild that was probably done 10 to 15 years prior. The floor, the stringers had a lot of stress cracks in it from where you could see it all flexing from poor stringers, poor transom. It had some gunnel work done to it that I was liking on it, and the console, which I knew I could reuse. When I initially started pulling the boat apart, it had 2 or 3 floors in it, a shitload of extra weight, rod and timber, so we just gutted the whole lot and spoke to a couple of shipwrights and different ways of doing it. And so the stringers are a lot higher than what stock stringers would be in a V19 of this size, but not also by heightening them, we thickened them. So they're all beefened up, everything's, you know, laid up with extra glass. Like, he'd put glass on it and I'd just say more glass. Like, I'd seen the weight that these boats could handle, and I knew it wasn't going to be an issue as long as it was tough. Just got that extra feeling of, you know, even just a simple slap of a wave on the side, just making it feel like it's a solid whack, not a drummy sound. I like everything sounding real solid. The build took roughly 3 years from the time I bought the boat to getting it on the water and convincing my missus that it was more important than my honeymoon. But it was just a money factor. I didn't skimp on anything. If I didn't have the money, I just waited. Once we'd done the transom, we raised it to 25 inch, got the shape that we were after for the back here. I know I wanted 2 live bait tanks, of course, 1 squid, you know, 1 livey, 1 slimies. The seat, you just can't have enough storage, so the idea of that was just to have all the odds and ends under your seat there, rods low down in the floor. The boat moves really fast. It's good to have your rods nice and close, knowing that they're not flying out of rod holders and whatnot. I know I wanted not a canvas top, I wanted something solid, like a hard top. So it's just sheet of ply, you know, laminated both sides, 2-pack the top, and just put a lip around the edge, got the shape that we wanted, the shape we were after, and it's a heavy top, but it ties in the T-top really well, and you can screw a lot of shit to it. You could probably have a lot of rocket launchers if need be. There's a lot of options up there. Casting deck up the front. I put that in simply because my mate Ronnie whinges every time he's not high enough to use his squid technique. I decided not to foam fill this boat simply because I've seen a lot of boats that are foam filled in the time that I was building this boat at the shipwright's yard. And it's a recipe for disaster if you don't know what you're doing, and that's me. This project, I try to consult as many professionals as I could and try to stay off the internet as much as I could to get a simple point of view. Otherwise, you'd be dwelling on things for months trying to work out the way you're going to do it simply because the comment you read on Facebook the night before has put you off your plans for that weekend on your boat. I installed the sea deck. I've got it all on the floor. I've got a helm pad with a bit of extra lift. I've got sea deck all on the insides of the boat the whole way around. And the acoustic change of the boat when we put it back in the water was amazing. Like, unbelievable, the different sound that came through the hull as you were driving it. And the softness under the foot, as you felt, is unbelievable. The boat's got a 300 litre fuel tank. It's pushed as far forward underneath the console as possible. My batteries are in front of that also, just to try and distribute the weight a little bit further forward to compensate for this thing. My favourite part of the boat would have to be the engine. 4.2 litre, as she gets past, you know, 3,000 revs, it just growls at you. It just reminds everyone on the boat that it's an animal. 20-inch prop straight off the showroom floor, and we've got top speed so far was I think 52, 53 knots. We're burning I think roughly between 9 and 10 litres an hour, or 9 and 10 litres, yeah, an hour trolling at 1700 RPM, which is really low RPM for 7 to 8 knots, which I think could be working in our advantage a little for a clearer wash. At say cruise speed, I would say would be 35 knots. And I think then we do what, 25 to 27 litres an hour. Everything points towards easy tow for a good trailer. And when I spoke to them and they worked with me to work out the best trailer that would suit me, and I didn't want any maintenance, and I do a lot of travelling. So that's why I went with the steel, the galvanised trailer. Weight's not an issue for me. Electronics, I didn't listen to anyone that got their electronics for free. I went with Ray Marine. I've been really happy with it. I got the B175 through hull transducer running on a CP 470 chirp unit. It marks marlin great, it marks my kingies great in the shallow water, so it's doing everything I want it to so far. All we do is down rig and catch marlin, really. We do a lot of king fishing. Everything is exactly where we need it for that type of fishing. The boys up on the surface, lures and stick baits are up the front while I'm down the back, down rigging and looking at sounders. So it's perfect for what we do. The Haines Hunters, I didn't understand before I started that it's a cult following, and you really got to be careful the way you talk about them because they're a sensitive bunch also. Don't cry, boys. They are sensitive, but I didn't want to go too hard on them.